It's a little hard to take any book seriously that has Fabio on the cover. But man-blouses aside, think about it for a second. Who writes the majority of romance novels? Women. Who are those novels mostly written for? Women. And who are those novels almost always about? Women. Clearly that gives them a leg up on a few things. Here, a few best-selling female fantasy wordsmiths give us 6 relationship insights romance novels have taught them, and could probably teach you, too. Steaminess on the page equals steaminess in your bedroom. We aren't necessarily telling you to bring those furry handcuffs or leather riding crops you see on the page into the bedroom with you, but reading those sexy scenes in romances novels could translate into some seriously sensual play of your own, mainly by getting you more comfortable with your own sexuality, says Beth Kery, author of Glow. One of the benefits to this is that it normalizes women's sexuality, removing some of the lingering stigma, resulting in more honest communication and comfort levels with a partner in the bedroom, Kery says. But you could pick up a few tips or tricks from these heroes and heroines, too. Have you ever seen the phrase missionary position in any of these works? Our point. A lot of romance novels are detailed, modern-day tutorials, says Karen Moning, author of Feverborn. Reading about another woman opening herself up to a sexual journey inspires us to be more willing to do the same. Speak up, for God's sake. If romance novels mimicked real-life relationship conversations, they, mostly, wouldn't be any fun to read. We're looking at you, silent treatment givers and indecisive restaurant choosers. Instead, these books teach us that open, honest communication is key to any good relationship, romantic or otherwise, says Jane Ann Krantz, author of Secret Sisters. Julia Quinn agrees. Communication is vital. The key to success is always honesty and clear communication between the hero and heroine, says Quinn, author of Because of Miss Bridgerton. Josie Burton, author of Make Me Stay, throws trust and respect into the mix as well, because, well, duh. We have the right to demand honesty from the person we love, to believe we can trust they mean what they say, and in order to give respect, we have to receive it in return, says Burton. If you feel safe with the person you love, then you are able to give love back freely and without reservation. Check out these 8 sex habits of super happy couples, waiting for Mr. Miss Right? Keep waiting. It's time to differentiate between romance novels and Disney princess movies. The movies show Prince Charming riding in on his white horse, saving the day, popping the question, all that crap. The former? Not so much, says Maya Rodale, author of the upcoming Lady Bridget's Diary. What really happens in a great romance novel is that the right person is one who challenges, tempts, and inspires you to be the fullest and truest version of yourself. Real happiness and mutual satisfaction comes when you both feel loved for who you really are. So maybe don't automatically left swipe on that guy with the dad bod door habit of quoting Will Ferrell movies, because some other, more important, characteristics like supporting you emotionally and making you nauseatingly happy will outweigh any perceived flaws. Find out if a marriage without sex can be healthy, nix that whole perfection thing, too. Speaking of dead bods, relationships are a lot like them. Not perfect. No two people are perfect for each other from the start. Relationships take work and growth and a commitment to becoming better together than we are alone, says Sarah McLean, author of The Rogue Not Taken. And despite your real-life relationship lacking a big misunderstanding, an oft-told romance novel trope, oh, no. My lover was seen embracing another woman who is my mortal enemy and ex-best friend but also his half-sister. Romance novels can still teach you a thing or two about addressing the tough stuff in any relationship. The books teach us that in love, compromise is king, McLean says. While your paperback protagonist is ironing out the kinks with her mortal enemy, ex-best friend's lover, you can feel great about focusing on the simple compromises. Like, buying a book light instead of turning on a bedside lamp to read in the middle of the night, blinded by love? Hard pass. Sure, it's easy to lose sight of other relationships when you're constantly with, and focused on, your significant other. But those outside friends and family members should be treated more like supporting roles than people you call when by has plans. Take it from the other relationships that pop up in romance novels, says Karen Rose, author of the upcoming Alone in the Dark. There are relationships other than that of the hero and heroine. Readers might learn positive lessons, like how to be a friend or that the family they make can be more fulfilling than the one they were born into, Rose says. And those outside relationships can only solidify your romantic one, suggests Laura Florent, author of A Wish Upon Jasmine. For a couple to really work, you have to find the long-term balance between the demands of being in a couple and maintaining your other relationships, she says. Here's how to improve all of your relationships, no matter what, always do you. You know those other relationships you can't let fall by the wayside. The most important one out of all of them, romantic ones included, is with your number one, yourself, silly. The hero often has an important story arc, a wrong he's trying to right, a trauma he's wrestled with his whole life, but ultimately the story belongs to the heroine, says Anne Calhoun, author of The Muse. And while it's true that a great guy can bring incredible amounts of joy into your life, before, during, and after his arrival, you're in a relationship with yourself, first and foremost. So stop being an accessory, literally and figuratively speaking, and own it as hard and deep and fearlessly as you can, says Calhoun. Insert emoji claps here. Let's all say it together, love shouldn't hurt. You already know by now that any form of abuse, physical, mental, emotional, in a relationship is a definite no-go. But these novels can double as refresher courses on that, according to Lorraine Heath, author of Falling into Bed with a Duke. One aspect of romance novels that I find most uplifting is that heroes never abuse heroines. The couple may be at a crossroads, they may be terribly upset with each other, but neither ever expresses anger or frustration by being physically, verbally, or mentally abusive, Heath says. Here are 5 signs you may be in an abusive relationship. If there is an abusive relationship between a heroine and someone who is definitely not her hero, it's to point out just how problematic they are. I've known some readers who suddenly realize that they have suffered toxic, potentially dangerous relationships after reading about a character in a similar situation, says Rose. If reading about rogue duke mistreating a fair maiden leads some women to recognize that their own relationships could use an upgrade, we welcome the scoundrels.